Delighted to introduce Navleen Kaur and Cassy, who together will give us their talk, Dare to Unlock Your Potential, the ultimate guide to launch a career in tech. We're going to be learning about the different paths that led them to have important positions in AltaML. Many of us can relate to Navleen's story because it is inspiring to see her professional career flourish in a highly competitive environment for someone with a foreign background. Now she's the People's Coordinator, where she takes care of the talent of this organization. Similarly, Cassy majored in finance at the University of Alberta. Later, she entered the machine learning industry during her internships at Amii and AltaML. Currently, she's the operations business partner and works with Cory Janssen, AltaML's co-founder. Please welcome Navleen Kaur and Cassy.
Good evening, everyone. Happy St. Patrick's Day. As you see, I'm wearing green pants. Thank you to the team for giving us the opportunity to share our journey on this platform here. Today, myself and Cassy were sharing the ultimate guide to launching a successful career in tech. I'm Navleen, as we're introduced as the People Coordinator at AltaML.
And I'm Cassy Sides. I'm not co-founder and co-CEO like that one slide said. I wish for me one day. I am the operations business partner at AltaML, and as Navleen mentioned, we're here to dare you to unlock your potential. I'm going to first share my journey into the tech and innovation sector, and my hope is that by sharing my journey into tech, it may help you navigate the potential path in this dynamic and growing sector. So funny enough, my journey into tech actually started right here at Amii. If we rewind to the spring of 2019, I just completed my first year of business at the University of Alberta. And as a typical university student, I was procrastinating about finding a summer job. And I was about to start a job at Costco. That's when I was introduced to Dan Stanner, the CFO here at Amii. And I'll be the first to admit I didn't know anything about AI or machine learning, but I was keen to learn. So when I spoke with Dan, I expressed to her my eagerness to learn more about AI and machine learning and really gain experience in a business setting. So over the course of my internship, I was able to discover more about AI and really learn how it's changing the ways we live, work, and learn. I'm sure we've all seen what ChatGPT can do recently and what it's capable of. So I'm very grateful to Amii for igniting this interest in me in the tech sector. On the slide here is a few photos from my internship at Amii. So this leads me to my first tip. Damn, it sure is hard knowing what you want to do with your life and what career path you should go down. But my suggestion is to just lean into learning as much as you can. Lean into the opportunities and the people that are presented to you. And I think if you enter these opportunities with an open mind and a willingness to learn as much as you can, it may help bring clarity about where your true interests lie. So throughout the summer, I was exposed to the tech sector, and I learned more about the thriving AI machine learning ecosystem that we have here in Western Canada. I was able to interact with AltaML during my internship, and I knew that I wanted to continue to learn about this space. So next spring, I reached out to Cory Janssen, the co-founder and co-CEO at AltaML, and at the same time, I learned that Nicole Janssen was a co-founder and co-CEO. So it was awesome as a young female to see such a strong leader in tech. And Celia too, after you've heard her speech, she's a very inspiring female to young leaders in the field. And so this leads me to my second tip, build connections. These connections will help open new doors and new opportunities. Don't be afraid to ask someone to go for coffee. I've learned that people really like sharing their experiences, interests, and opinions with others. So don't be afraid to reach out to anyone to chat more about something that you might be interested in. During my first summer internship at AltaML, I was exposed to working in many different business areas. So I got exposure to finance, HR, business development, and it really helped figure out where my interests lie. I also gained so many invaluable experiences that I think would have been hard to come across anywhere else. One of my favorite projects was I was tasked with researching B Corp and then presenting my recommendation to the executive leadership team whether this is something I thought AltaML should pursue. And today we are actively pursuing the B Corp certification, which is really exciting. And not to mention the work environment at AltaML was so much fun. Everyone was so welcoming and supportive. It made it really easy to fit in and feel a part of the team. So I guess they thought I did a good job too, because I was asked back at AltaML next summer as a business development intern, and I continued to work there during my last year of school part-time. So I have a few photos on this slide from my time at AltaML. And this leads me to my third tip. So just a piece of advice for how you can be successful in an intern position. My tip is to trust yourself. I think sometimes you're given little instruction on a task, but I think as long as you and whoever assigned you the task align on what success looks like at the end of the day, I think you just need to trust your intuition, trust your intellect, trust your creativity, and I think you'll be able to succeed. So then in April 2022, I graduated from the University of Alberta with distinction, a Bachelor of Commerce and a major in finance. And I took off to Europe to travel for a little bit, and when I got back, an opportunity to work alongside Cory presented itself. And Cory was looking for someone who'd be able to help him on a number of high-level tasks, so fundraising for AltaML, business development, and other strategic initiatives. And when I first heard that Cory wanted me to be in this position and to be, as he called it, his right-hand person, I thought to myself, why me? Why does he want a first-year business graduate in this position? And I let self-doubt kind of creep into my head. But that's when I remembered something that Nicole actually told me during my first internship. She said, if a good opportunity presents itself, just say yes, and then figure out the rest, even if you think you initially can't do it. So that brings me to my last tip. Just say yes, even if it scares you at first. Don't be afraid to jump out of your comfort zone, try something new, because you don't know where it might lead you. And then just a slide with, this is our team photo from our past retreat. So with that, I will pass it over to Navleen, who is going to share her journey into tech.
Thank you, Cassy. And funny enough, my journey actually started by saying yes to coming to Canada. I'm from India, I'm an international student, and I'm proud to say that. I said yes to Canada when I applied here and I got my study permit. I had no doubts. I did, of course. I knew no one here, I didn't know what to do, but I just packed my bag, came to Canada, and I'm like, I'll figure out the rest later on. We'll see. I didn't know what to expect, how I'm gonna live on my own. You know, first couple of months, they were really challenging. I knew no one, and as we mentioned in one of the previous slides, like, I had no experience. I was a high school graduate here, trying to pursue my bachelor's, so no prior experience, no study complete, so I was like, in between both of them. And the best part is I will be graduating this year with the highest distinctions, so super proud of myself and really excited for what's going to come next. I started volunteering and participating in different events. One thing led to another. I joined the student association, loved the student governance, loved the leadership roles at a student level, really got insight into it, participated in the board of governors at my university as a volunteer, and then ran for the role of president of the student association. It was a pretty big accomplishment for myself. Actually, a couple of my friends, very close friends, when I ran for that position, they were like, I don't know how you're going to succeed in that role. Like, it's usually like the role of a president of an organization that's supposed to be a male, and you know, like, you're not going to succeed. But lucky enough, I had an all-girls team, so super easy. No. Throughout the journey, I started, as I mentioned, I started interacting with people that are outside my bubble. I stepped out of my comfort zone. It was really hard. Actually, one of the pictures is me participating with other student leaders from all over Canada actually. One of them is from Nova Scotia and one of them is from here in Alberta. This was for the Mental Health Commission of Canada. We were a student leaders panel. where we're talking about how mental health impacts students in general. And the picture on the left you see is when I participated in 150 Startups. It's actually one of the programs through Bow Valley College. It's a summer program where if you have a business idea or just want to learn how to really refine and refine your career or refine your business idea, start a business on your own. So throughout the summer, that's what I did, where I gained many connections. I participated in different student research forums. Over here, this is me proud presenting my research. It was actually on the governmental policies for Indigenous folks on what policies are there on housing that are on reserve and off reserve. Again, super proud. All of these extracurricular activities really helped me grow and make the most out of my passion and my hunger for getting things done. I started as a mathematics major. I love numbers, and I always wanted to learn what I could do with those numbers. What's the better way to show how important these numbers are? And as opportunities presented themselves, I started working as a marketing associate at first at a real estate company to see how I can translate the views on those Instagram and Facebook posts into clients. And along the way, I switched my program to finance. I was like, marketing isn't for me, so let me try investment management. Learned, not for me. Even though it is numbers, it's not the numbers that I wanted to work with. And then as I was doing a Bachelor's of Management program, there's an internship course. So through that course, I met Cole. He was one of the former people coordinator at AltaML, and he was looking for a people associate. And I applied. It was a HR position. I had no background in HR. I didn't know what I was going to do, how I was going to just go into HR, but I showed up at the interview and I showed him how passionate I am. And I think he really saw through my passion, and he's like, you know what, I'm going to give you a try. And I got hired at AltaML. I did my research. I spent many nights researching what AltaML does. I stalked everyone's LinkedIn page, really looking at what they're doing, and then I started taking Udemy courses to, about data management, about data analysis, and then about HR as well. And then it is after the internship that I was like, okay, you know what, HR is a fun career. And I can use this data to really tell a story, and these are the numbers that I want to work with. I want to work with the retention numbers, I want to work with talent management, and actually Deanna, that Celia mentioned, so I work with her very closely, so I get an opportunity to have interactions with her to really represent women and how we can translate how we're hiring, what are numbers saying, and then how we should build more strategies to make sure we're hiring even hiring and retaining. So people analytics, talent management, learning and development, fun stuff, amazing stuff to be honest. And this is a true thing. As I mentioned, with all of this, when I completed my internship, fortunately, Carolyn, she is our VP of People, she saw my passion and she said that, do you want to stay with us? And I was like, I would love that. And I started working at AltaML as a part-time people coordinator as I'm still in school, but I will be graduating soon, so yay. So as you've heard through my story, I just say yes to things, to be honest. And when I'm looking back, I really trusted in myself and my journey. I started working in nonprofits, as I mentioned before, to real estate, to working in tech. I learned from other leaders in the industry, and I was very vulnerable with them about what I know and what I don't know and what skills I bring and what I'm willing to learn. And this has helped me a long way. Here are, I'm just going to share a few more pictures of AltaML. This is from this year. I just wanted to say, I love what I do, and I just strive to learn more. So again, that's the passion that you need. Just coming back to, I'm going to pass the floor back to Cassy to just summarize how our story is very similar yet very different about starting our careers in tech.
Yeah, so thank you everyone for coming to listen to us today, and thank you everyone for hosting this great event. We hope that by listening to both our journeys into tech, you were able to take a few things away from this or learn something new. Both of us hope that you'll dare yourself to lean into learning, build connections, trust your intuition, and say yes to new opportunities. If you are interested in finding out more about tech or AI or AltaML, you probably could just ask ChatGPT and it'll give you a perfectly fine answer. Or if you want, you can feel free to reach out to Navleen or I, like come talk to us, or both our emails are up on the screen and we'd love to chat more. So thank you for having us.